Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly and thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and go through a Pilates reformer workout for beginners or all levels. I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment, and through each fundamental exercise, I'm gonna recommend the spring tension for you. So if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. All right, let's go ahead and begin with 3.5 springs. I have 2 reds, 1 green, and 1 yellow spring on. Go ahead and lie on your back, and let's set your heels on top of the foot bar, glued together, bolted together. Arms are down beside you. Take that inhale to prepare, and when you're ready, exhale to send the carriage out. We're going to keep the legs as a unit, flex through the ankles, toes looking straight up. Take this moment to connect those ribs, scoop the belly down and in, and begin to really engage through your core as your legs are hugging together. Your arms are nice and long as they lengthen by your sides. In our next position, we'll take the bolted legs and come down to your toes. Exhale to press out, inhale to bring it back in. Focus on your shoulders staying relaxed, trying to maintain distance between your shoulder and your ear. Keep those knees hugging together so that you're really incorporating a lot of inner thigh work here. It can be challenging for some, especially if the inner thighs feel weak today. Beautiful. Let's go. Toes on, heels together. Exhale, press out, tweezing through those inner thighs. Trying to keep the hips nice and stable and doing the best you can to maintain all the natural curves of your spine, or so they say, Pilates neutral spine. Hug those heels together, exhale, press out, inhale to return. Keep the same position of the feet, and let's just move it up to your foot bar. So heels are on the foot bar, we're in our Pilates V, and we're pressing out. As you return in, the knees will separate about shoulder distance apart, and as you press out, the knees will come hugging closely together. Beautiful. Just finding a nice flow, a nice pace for yourself here. We're doing about 10 repetitions for each of these foot variations. Let's bring the heels out wide, and we're going to internally rotate from the hip, so the knees are going to come together. You're not fully going to exhale and press out to straight legs. You're going to exhale out to about halfway once you start to feel the knees slightly separate. So again, a lot of inner thigh focus here as you push out. It might feel heavier with you on the spring, so if you do have any knee issues or hip issues, please feel free to reduce the spring tension here. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and turn those knees out and shift to our toes. Really nice wide stance. Exhale to push out, inhale on the return. Focus on pressing evenly through all of your toes, so there's a lot of equal weight distribution here. Think about challenging your ankles as you keep those heels lifted. Hug those abs in, belly button towards the floor as you press out. Nice and strong through those hips. Let's bring the toes back in about hip distance apart, and we're going to do a progression calf raise series. So 6 calf raises here, lowering and lifting. You're going to inhale to lower the heels, exhale to lift the heels up. Perfect. Good. And lift those heels, hold them up nice and high as you bend the knees to come in, pushing out for 5 calf raises. Nice and slow, very intentional here. 1 more. Bend the knees, return back in, and pressing out for 4 calf raises. Drop those heels, lift them up. Super controlled on the lift, super controlled on the release. Good, another one. Heels are up, soften the knees to come in. Take it for 3. Good, and bend to come in. Exhale, pressing out. We have 2 calf raises. Last one, fully extend, open through the hips, lowering those heels for the stretch, and then return back in. Finish it with prances or running, so you're going to drop one heel under as we alternate from side to side. Think about your hips staying squared, because we're still doing the work here. Strengthening the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Perfect. Nice steady flow, and then returning right back in again. Great. Come up nice and slow. We're going to take it into some single leg side lying work. So I'm reducing my spring tension to 2 1/4, which on the equipment is 1 red and 1 green spring. I'm going to lie on my side. Shoulders are going to be stacked, hips are stacked. And then relax your bottom leg as you center your entire foot, your left foot on the foot bar, pressing out and then bending back in again. You can always use a ball underneath your head so your neck is more supported, but if it feels okay to just lift the headrest to that high position, that's fine too. Exhale, pressing out, inhale to return. Again, maybe squeezing through the glutes to contract the glutes. You're getting the work through the back of the leg and through the front of the thigh. On your toes, heels are lifted, press out, full extension. Inhale to return and exhale out. Again, equal weight distribution through all of your toes here on that left foot. Abs are pulled in, still maintaining the best neutral spine you can on your side. And again, our goal is 10 here with each of these foot variations. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So carefully turn yourself around, restack your shoulders, restack the hips. Go ahead and organize the right foot on top of the foot bar. Think about evenly pressing through the sole of your foot as you extend the leg out. Make adjustments if necessary. So think about where the weight is going here. Are you just pressing out with the ball of your foot? Are you just favoring the heel? So really do the best you can to get equal weight distribution in the entire foot. Abs are pulled in as you push out. Exhaling and inhale on the return in. Adjust it to your toes, heel is lifted. Exhale, push out, and inhale back in. Again, challenging your heel to stay in that nice upright position to strengthen those ankles. Check in with your upper body, making sure you're not overly gripping on the peg or overly trying to balance here, creating tension in your neck or your shoulders. Great job, guys. Starting to feel the heat in that leg. And when you're done, return in slowly. All right, moving into some ab work here. I'm going to reduce it down to 1 green spring, which is 1 1/4 spring. Let's grab a hold of those handles. And just take a nice little stretch here as you windshield the legs back and forth, stretching through the low back before we get into some deep core work here. Good. When you're ready, let's go ahead and take our arms in that sleepwalking position, legs in tabletop. We're going to press those arms down and straighten out that right leg here. Pull the right knee in towards the chest to tabletop. So as the arms go down, the leg pulls in. Think of dragging the leg in with your abdominal muscles. Perfect. And I'm keeping my head down here. So for anyone who wants to add an extra challenge, you can flex up. Otherwise, keep your head down if you have any neck conditions or injuries. Or if you start to feel like it creates extra tension, keep the head down. Good. And just 5 here for overall 10 total. Good. Left leg goes out. Exhale, press those arms down, pull the knee in. Exhale, drive the knee in and reach. Think of this energy coming from your toes. So it's a very active leg here. It's a very active right leg in tabletop as well. And again, when you're ready, you can add flexion here, or you can keep your head down. Scooping the belly, staying strong through the abs with your eyesight towards your belly button. Beautiful. 2 more. Lower back down. Good. Go ahead and rest those feet. Again, if you need another stretch here, just windshield wipe those legs from left to right, right to left. And find those legs back to tabletop. Good. Head is down. Just draw those arms in towards the hips. And think of the work here being created underneath your armpit. So focus on activating those muscles. Exhale to drag in. Inhale to open. Good. And from here, we're going to extend the legs out to 45. You don't have to. It's just an optional choice. Beautiful. Again, challenging yourself to maintain that neutral spine. So you shouldn't feel like you are overly imprinting or overly arching your back. Add flexion here, and then let's challenge ourselves to reach and pull in 3 times. Good. 1 more for me. Lower yourself back down. Let's try that again. Exhale, curl it up. Reach those legs out. Drag them in for 3. Pull in for 2. And 1. And lower everything down. Good. Curl it up. Last time. We go out for 3. 2. And 1. Good. That should have brought some heat right into those abs here. Rest it out. Stretch it if you need to. We're going to go into some triceps, and I'm going to keep my head down throughout this series, but again, you can add flexion if you choose to. Knees in tabletop. Extend those arms out. So the elbows are going to be hovering off the mat here. And then think of the work, again, being activated from your tricep, from the back of the arm. That's where initiating the work. Exhale to straight arms and inhale to bend. And we're doing 10 total here. Again, your abs are not off the hook, so really think about pulling those abs deep in towards your spine. All right, guys, finish it off with hundreds. I'm going to start to do a progression here. So tabletop the legs, head is down. We're going to pump the arms here, inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling for 5 counts. Do what feels right for you. If it feels right to add flexion, you can curl yourself up and maintain this position in tabletop. Again, you're inhaling for 5 counts and you're exhaling for 5 counts. And when it feels right to you, you can even extend your legs out to 45 degrees here to finish it off. Inhaling, big breath, and exhale. Deep exhalation. Good. Arms are like long levers here. Beautiful. We can do it. We're almost there. And then slowly starting to pull those legs in, arms come up, and rest it down. Great job, guys. So hang up those handles on those pegs. Again, another deep stretch if you need them as you windshield wipe the legs. We're going to bring ourselves back up, and I'm going to switch into my loops for some hip work series. So we're going to get into some frog and hip circles. So if your handles were on, go ahead and take this moment to take your loops and place them on. And I do want my headrest back to a halfway position. You can have it flat, whatever feels right for you. And my spring tension is 1.75, which is a 1 3/4 or a green and a blue spring. A red and a blue spring would also be a really great choice here, but I'm going to work my inner thighs and my legs a little bit harder today. So once the feet are in the straps, heels together, toes apart, let's bend the knees in towards the chest. Exhale, straighten them out. And when you're going through this movement here, think about the knees slowly pulling in towards your chest, maybe just slightly past 90, so that we just have full range of motion, tweezing through those inner thighs. Inhale to bend and exhale to press out, and carefully take it into those hip circles. So long legs here, really open out through the hips as we mobilize the hip joints. And we're doing 6 one way, and then we'll reverse it 6 the other way. Think about equal pressure in your loops. So just taking a moment to see which side you might be dominating with. Good job here. Nice and slow, lubricating the joints. Really taking a moment to allow these circles to feel really good as we stretch out those legs. From here down to 45, I'm going to separate my legs to parallel and then press in and out. So there's distance between my legs right now. It's hard to see from this angle, but there's nothing holding my legs together here. So a little wider than hip distance. Maybe think of 2 fists in between your knees, and that's about the distance I'm at right here, which makes it harder to control the straps. Nice. Okay, let's take the soles of your feet together, big toe to big toe, pinky toe to pinky toe, and creating these Ferris wheel circles. So you're pushing your feet away from your body, and think of a Ferris wheel. So how large are these circles going to be? Are they smaller or are they larger? And it's 6 one way and then 6 in the reverse direction. You should feel this in your inner thighs. That's how you'll know you're doing this exercise correctly. And the hardest part about this is just keeping those toes together, especially the pinky toes. Nice work. And then finish it off with that Buddha stretch. So just drop those feet into the well if that feels good for you today. Big breath here. And when you're ready, go ahead and take one strap at a time. Find your foot bar, and then we'll go ahead and bring ourselves up into a seated position. We're going to take it into elephant. So I'm adjusting my springs down to 1.5, or 1 red and 1 blue, and my heels are up against the shoulder blocks for full support. Palms are on, fingertips are reaching forward. Go ahead and hinge from the hips as you push that carriage out from behind you. And as you pull in, really concentrate on scooping your abdominals up towards the ceiling to drag the carriage back in. So you're inhaling to press out, you're exhaling to pull in. And continue to push your weight back so there's no movement in the upper body. Good. So let's challenge ourselves a little bit. Everyone can stay exactly where they're at. I'm going to do another 6 more here, but I'm going to reduce the springs and my position. So I'm on 1 red spring. My feet are at the very top of the carriage, and smaller movements here. So a lot more controlled, so be careful on how fast you go with this, because the carriage might want to slip out from underneath you. Same idea, hinge from the hips as you inhale, exhale, hug those abs up a little higher. So you're pulling the carriage in with your abs. Good, let's try that one more time. And then bring it in. Carefully coming down to your knees with your feet supported by the shoulder blocks. I'm going to keep the one red spring on, but for anyone who wants to add more tension, go ahead and feel free. So be super careful here. Again, it's really light. Hips are forward. You're going to push yourself back for the exhale and inhale it forward. So a lot more abs here. And again, 6 repetitions. You can add more, you can decrease to less. Try not to use your arms or your upper body so much. It's really about dragging in with your abs. Perfect. And bringing it all the way back in to close the carriage. Nice. Take a nice shell stretch or a child's pose here, if that's okay with your knees. We're going to transition into some arm work. But let's go ahead, before we do that, make sure that you're okay with your loops or your handles. I'm going to extend my legs out in front of me. You can always crisscross in with your legs if you have tight hips or if it's too much for your back. Hug a tree here. So arms are simply out. As we exhale, the fingertips pull together, and as we inhale, they open out apart. Good. Serving the brownies, bend at the elbows, reach out in front of you. With each press out, encourage your chest to rise up a little higher so that you don't feel like you're collapsing through your spine. This is hard work, just maintaining this position. Abs are pulled in, ribs are connected. Good. And bringing it right back in. Let's crisscross the legs here because we're going to hinge forward and go right into salute. So pitch the body forward, hands where the eyebrows are at, bend at the elbows, straighten out the arms. Our muscle focus is triceps, so really focus on activating the triceps once again, which are below the arm. The back of the arm, I should say, reaching out and get nice and tall and circle. Good, big circle here, and it's challenging. The springs are going to want to hinge you forward, so do the best you can to maintain a nice tall spine here. Good, reverse when you're ready. And we're just doing 4 one way and 4 the opposite way. Taking your time and breathing. Good job, guys. Hang that up when you're ready. And then let's go ahead and just take a stretch. So I'm keeping my right leg bent. My left leg is on the foot bar, going into a nice little hamstring stretch. And then when you're ready, think of dropping your left heel under for a little bit deeper stretch through the calf and up into the hamstring. Nice and slow. Switch when you're ready. Just super gentle here, dropping those heels underneath and then back up. Good. And then bring it back in once you're ready. And we're going to keep it on the red spring for now. And just go ahead and turn yourself around. Head rest is going to go flat. With knees bent, take the soles of your feet on top of the headrest and choke up on the ropes right above the metal buckles. So super tall, we're just going to do a half roll back here. So as you drop your chin, tuck that tailbone under, roll yourself back, and as you curl yourself up, really press your feet into the headrest so that you're deepening the connection with your abdominal muscles. So if you feel like your feet are floating off the headrest, Think about not going back as far. Good. Exhale super slow on the way up. Good. Tuck that tailbone under, rolling back and returning up to the top. Nice and tall for me. You're going to go ahead and start to bend your left elbow as you rotate to the left. 3 more. Exhale, rotate. Getting the obliques involved and allowing your spine to spiral upward. Let's try that one more time. Exhale to rotate and return. Good. Left arm is straight. Bend through the right elbow. And keep an eye out what your shoulders are doing. As you rotate, are they lifting or are they staying down? Nice. And bring it up to your loops. Hands in the loops. Legs are going to go out nice and straight. Again, if you need to modify and crisscross your legs, feel free to do that. But we're heading into chest expansion, 6 repetitions back. So think of your arms away from your hips and you're pressing like long levers through heavy water. Nice. Flip the palms so they're looking at your body, and again, exhale, press back. This arm variation should enable your triceps to fire up a little bit more. Good. 3 more. Exhale, press your arms back. Inhale, forward. And last time. And from here, flip your palms forward. Exhale, press on back. So 3 different variations. We're doing about 6 repetitions for each of them, so you should feel your arms and your back here working and triggering, being triggered here from the muscles working so hard to maintain this upright position. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and hang those up, and we're going to come off our machine. So we're on a red spring. We're going to get into some additional legs here, working specifically the hamstrings. So grabbing your box, you can place your straps in the well, and you're going to position the box so it's evenly set on top of the reformer frame. You can stay on the red spring. I added a blue spring, so it's 1.5 springs here. And then as you sit at the very front of your box, hook those heels on the shoulder blocks. Hands are just being supported by the box, and then pull the carriage in. So again, it's like you're dragging the carriage in to really feel the glute to hamstring connection here. Encouraging your body to stay nice and tall. If you want to float those arms, challenging yourself, go ahead and do that. Pulsing it in for 6. Good. 2 and 1, and release it. Second variation, take those feet through the headrest into your V position and hook the tops of your feet and pull in. So it's a modified frog here. So my knees are separating. They're looking in opposite directions. Exhale to pull in, inhale to release. Pulse it in again. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release everything. Good. Okay, so carefully come on off and take the horizontal short box and place it against your shoulder blocks for side overs. For side overs, foot bar is going to go down, and I am going to attach, for safety purposes, all springs on so that the carriage is completely stationary. And then grab a hold of your strap. You're going to hook your foot in, keeping your leg long. One hand's on the headrest, one hand is supporting the neck behind you. And I'm going to, again, progress here. So my hand's going to stay on the headrest the entire time. And the work, again, is being developed from the obliques. So 5 here, stay in this position if this feels good for you. If you're ready to challenge yourself, you can take your right hand off the headrest and finish it off 5 more. So you are lifting your entire weight, which is going to create this heaviness. Look straight ahead, don't look down. Breathe. You got it, we're almost there. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Nice. Catch that headrest, take a good stretch here, and this should feel so nice. And then carefully you're going to rise back up to the top, and we'll do the other side. So hooking that right foot in, let's go ahead and place the left leg on top of the box. Make sure you feel secure. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale to bend the elbow. Abs are in. Exhale, lift. Inhaling and exhale. Think of pushing your head back against your hands so that you're looking straight ahead. Find something to focus on. And when you're ready, you can again take it into 5 more optional lift and lowers here. Good work, guys. These are not easy, but they're a great way to track your progression. Beautiful. And turn, take that final stretch. Just breathe everything out. You guys are doing great. We're almost done. We have one more exercise for today. So carefully coming off, we're going to switch the box to a long position. Foot bar is going to come up, and then I'm adjusting the springs down to 1 red spring or just 1 spring. And then you're going to lie on your stomach facing the foot bar. So we're going to have the legs extended. I recommend keeping your legs separated so you're not compressing your low back or through the spine. And then coming up gently for swan. Make sure the fingertips are reaching out so that the palm is on top of the foot bar. Lifting, drawing your shoulders down your back pockets. Beautiful job here, guys. Keep your legs energized. Thighs are slightly lifting off the box. Glutes are squeezing. So think about squeezing your butt cheeks here to also help protect your low back. Good. We're going to stay up here. So hold the position. You don't have to do this extra challenge, but see if you can float one hand off the foot bar and then the other off the foot bar. And then go ahead and lower your chest, bend your elbows. Let's try that one more time. Lift up into swan, pause, float the right arm up, float the left arm, and lower the chest and return back in. Awesome work here, guys. Go ahead and bend your knees and just go ahead and crisscross at the ankles. See if you can feel a stretch through your hip flexors here as you relax your upper body. You guys did great today. We're going to finish it with a couple roll downs. So coming off your reformer, hip distance apart, let's sweep those arms up. Let's take a dive all the way down, fingertips towards the toes. Exhale, roll yourself right back up again. One more time. Thanks again for watching the channel. It was so good to have you guys. Be sure to check out some of the other videos here on the channel and hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you soon. Take care.